Karl Rove, aka Bush's brain, aka the architect, was not such a great architect in the 2012 election. Karl Rove, according to reports, spent some of today explaining to the millionaire donors who lost millions of dollars just to see Mitt Romney and the senatorial candidates go down on Tuesday night. Obviously, when they give these millions of dollars, they expect a return on their investment. Policy decisions, the maintaining of the Bush tax cuts, the ability to hide their money overseas, everything is threatened by an Obama administration who seeks fairness and seeks to close these loopholes that rich people use. Now, Rove has been a very successful man. He's responsible for the re-election of George Bush in 2004 and his election in 2000. He was integral in the big 2010 Republican sweep. And what's his technique? What he does is he takes the weakness of his candidate and projects it onto the opponent. Well, as in all things are cyclical. What goes around comes around. The American public caught up to this strategy. They weren't falling for it this time, and Karl Rove sounds like a bumbling idiot as opposed to the architect, if you will. And the climax of this experience, watching Karl Rove lose his viability, was the other night on Fox News when the election was called with the state of Ohio going to Barack Obama. If you go online and just watch Fox News' coverage of the moment when Ohio was called by the Fox News number crunchers, Karl Rove, who understands demographics and municipalities and districts more than anybody, was in total denial. This man understood with his brain that the counties which had not reported their votes were going to go for Obama. So there's no way he could logically think that Romney was still in it, but he was in denial because he knew the election was over. He wouldn't accept it. He kind of transferred that non-acceptance over to Romney, gave him some false hope. And in a famous, now infamous scene, Meagan Kelly questions Karl Rove and says, "Are you sure you're just not saying this to make yourself feel good because you're a conservative?" I give her some props for being honest. So she gets up, she goes over to the number crunchers in the back room over at Fox, and they explain that there's just too much outstanding vote coming in for the president, and there's not enough Romney votes still left outstanding. However, Rove was not willing to give up, and he kind of looks like a fool. I don't know how much money he's going to be able to raise from these millionaires, because it's clear that the Democratic machine on the ground, they proved that getting the vote out and knocking on doors and targeting people to vote is much more important than just putting expensive TV ads on television. So Karl Rove, the architect, Bush's brain, down and out, at least for the moment.